Four students A, B, C, and D were made to sit around a circular table and writing a test. There were 10 questions, and B, C, D were not prepared for uh, the test, so they have decided to attempt the alternate question by just judging the question. So B has given the responses as true or false as for alternate questions, and same B started with false and C started with the true response. D decided that he'll give all the answer in the same response. So when the test was attempted, everyone looked at each other's neighbor's sheet, and each one of them kept his original answer for a question intact if it is matched with any one of the neighbors, whereas if it didn't match, then they decided to erase the response. So the question was unattempted. So B attempted total of 8 questions, C attempted total of 7 questions, D has attempted all 10 and getting 5 correct, and A has all 10 correct answers. So now let's look at the question. Now the question that we have, first question that we have is who was sitting opposite to A. Now if we look, A, B and C, D, all four can be arranged around a circular table in 3 factorial ways. So let's make the first A's position to be fixed, and B is sitting opposite to A, and C and D are sitting adjacent to A. Now B and C's answer will not match as they have as they have marked the alternate answers, and D have marked all the answers as truth or false. Now in this case, B would have been able to attempt only 5 questions, but B have attempted a total of 8 questions. So this would be not the possible. This would have not have been the case. Now let's talk about the second case when C is sitting opposite to A. So A is sitting at this position, C is sitting at this position, B and D are sitting adjacent to C as well as D. Now B have B and C's answer doesn't match, and if we look at D's perspective, D have marked all truth or false. So if we again look at the same perspective of C, C's has marked all questions alternately false, false, and truth, and so on. So if in this case he would have attempted again 5 questions as in the previous case B have attempted, so C cannot sit opposite to the A as he has attempted 7 questions. Now the turns comes out to be the only case that we are left with. A and D are sitting opposite to A, so the answer for this question will turn out to be D. D as the third option. Now as we understand in the table that has been given, that we started with, that B has started with starting with alternate question as false and true, and has done this, started with true as the right answer, and then false, true, false alternate options. Now as given in the question, D has given all the responses as true, so we are filling over here true for all the cases. Now if we understand this, B has a mark question number 1 and question number 7. So these two options will not have been filled with by B, and C would not have marked the answer number question number 4, question number 8, and question number 10. Now B is sitting between A and D, and C is also sitting between A and D. So if B would not have marked the answer, the reason would have been A and D would have got the same answer. So true is the answer for this, and similarly for 7th question the answer would have been the true only. Now if we talk about D would have attempted the same way. It's true for this case as this is true and this is true. Now rest of the answer that would have been false, because D has got only 5 correct and A has got 10 correct. So these 5 would have been the correct options, but the rest would have been the other way. Now if we talk about C now, look at the correct possible pairs. That would have been 1 and 2 would have been different answer. 2, 3 would have been the same answer as the false option. 3, 4 cannot be the same, and 4, 5 cannot be the same. So 2, 3 is the correct answer for this question. As D has marked in this question, as D has marked every answer as true, and what questions did C mark correctly? So we can use the table that we have prepared in the previous question. In the C have got first correct, C have got sixth correct. So for the answer would have been false. So C would have got that correct. So this is the correct answer for C. This would have been false. This would have been false. So the answer that would be the first, second, and then we have sixth, and then seventh. So these are the four questions that C have marked correctly. So 1, 2, 6, and 7th, and the answer for this question turns out to be the second option.